Educate. Okay. Feels pretty effortless on this side. And it finishes hard at the end. Like it hangs on the 4-foot line and then it comes over.
Please deliver your counterclockwise last approach.
It felt heavy, Ben. Looks heavy. Looks heavy. Oh. Oh. Good. Nice. Figuring out. I thought it was back 4. Good judge. Yeah. Good practice. Just without touching it. Sorry. Good practice. Same. Have a good game. Should I see your rock book? Which pocket? Thanks. Hey, how's it going?
Exactly, yeah. We would get 5.
Second practice. Second practice, you may pull your sliders. No practice slides.
So I said 7-8 are out. So we threw Sarah threw 2-6, 1-4, 7-3. And then this is what Shuster threw with these rocks, and Chaska threw with these rocks.
So it looks like 2, 6, 8.
Yeah, well, like Pete and Chaska threw 7-8. But Shuster threw.
So 7 8 out, so doesn't
No,
matter.
I thought. What numbers are out? I thought 1, 2 are out.
Everybody chill.
Oh, thanks.
Practice, maybe good.
No, he hasn't. I was actually going to make him talk. Phil, I hear you may watch us.
I'll pop over. Anything you want me in particular to watch for?
Anything. Just like, it's getting a little frustrated with what he kept saying. Like, just do the same thing you're doing. Like, just keep doing what you're doing. It's like we're 2 and 2. Like, I want to know, like, if there's anything like we want to move on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and he did have some good points this morning about some power play stuff. Like some maybe strategy things we could be doing differently. But just anything you're seeing.
Perfect.
Like tendencies.
Yeah, I'll pop over.
Okay. Good luck. Thank you.
One, 2 are out, right? So we had 4 and 6 in the back end, and 7, 8.
Hey, is this mine?
Yeah.
You already have yours?
Yeah.
Okay. thought you prefer 3, 5, 6.
Yeah, threes. What were you throwing? Three.
I was trying to 5, 6.
Three's still good, but they had 4 and 2 vice positions.
4 and what?
4. Shuster threw 4 on vice, and Casper threw 4 at vice.
So I'll just throw 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
That's fine. At least we know now, like, if I don't like the 4, I can just switch it up.
Yeah.
To the 3. I didn't see anything weird.
No.
To get like a 0, yeah.
Beautiful view of the shores of Lake Michigan here in Traverse City, Michigan. We are at the Traverse City Curling Club. Things warming up outside and here inside the club as well. The 2024 USA Curling Mixed Doubles National Championship. 16 teams vying for the right to represent the United States at the 2024 World Championships in Östersund, Sweden. Here's a look at the standings for Pool B. Geving and Shuster leading the pack at 4-0 with Anderson Stapera at 3-1. Anderson, Richardson, Bear, Oldenburg, Hamilton, and Weldon Franey all in the middle at 2-2. Podol and Perry at 1-3, and Burr 0-4. Our feature matchup here on Sheet C today will be a good one. Taylor Anderson and Ben Richardson taking on the aforementioned undefeated squad of Aileen Geving and John Shuster. For this afternoon draw, Tyler George here in the booth, joined by Curling Zone czar, CEO, everything you want to call him in that position, stats guru, our favorite curling nerd, and I say that in reverence, Jerry Gertz. Jerry, thanks for joining us here.
Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate the opportunity to join you for the show here. It's been a lot of fun checking out Traverse City and the club and everything going on here.
Jerry wears a lot of hats in the curling world, and broadcaster, one of them. Probably doesn't do quite as often because he's always behind the scenes for the broadcasts and the numbers, but it'll be fun having you here next to me for the game, Jerry, and we do have a great matchup today.
Two teams here, contenders, I think, to get into Sunday's final, and probably give the favorite, the Corys, a run for their money, hopefully.
Felt good.
Two Olympians, of course, in John Schuster and Aileen Geving. They qualified for this championship competition by virtue of 4-person points from Tour this season.
It's like back four. I got to keep it on the nose.
Record in great position to qualify. Another win would get
That'll work,
awfully
Aileen.
close to qualifying them outright, but looking for that top seed to get the bye into the semifinal round.
Yeah, 15 is definitely the number. That was
Yeah, no,
Okay.
these two teams, you don't really see them play mixed doubles all that often, just with the nature of how busy these players are with their 4-player squads. But Anderson and Richardson here played
got a little light, I
think
thought.
3 events this season so far.
Top
The
4.
Southern Mixed Doubles, where they won that
Just
one
top 4.
in Charlotte. And then semifinals in an event in Alberta, a curling stadium event in
Top 4,
Beaumont, and then quarters at the Madtown Double Down
there
in Madison.
Even with that fairly busy schedule for
Sorry, take a throw.
mixed doubles
It's my bad.
tour year, they qualified for this event also through 4-person points on tour.
Yeah, I mean, compared to your draw shot, I mean, I know we know this way is closer, but
Taylor and Ben
or
were
faster, but it was
playoff team last year
I don't need to throw this turn.
at the mixed doubles nationals, and both playoff participants in the men's and women's event a few weeks ago in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Taylor, of course, on the Sarah Anderson squad that was our silver medalist for the women's.
Yeah, John and Eileen played
Go, Aileen, line. It's
the
close,
Mixed Doubles
though.
Super Series in
Keep
Winnipeg,
digging.
making the
Keep
quarterfinals
going.
there. They also played in Madison at the Double Down,
can curl
but
now.
didn't reach the playoffs.
Yeah, straight's fine,
that
too.
appearance.
I like the little.
Whoa. Let's get.
Outurn
Whoa.
come around by
He's with the
Schuster,
outturn?
ends up
Yeah.
stopping, biting top of the
They
8
got a
foot.
little left.
Okay.
Essentially a guard for them too, Jerry, but a good position.
Yeah, mixed doubles, you don't have time to do anything.
As many.
I had I was lucky enough to play some mixed doubles a few years ago, and got a chance to get a feel for it, and you know it creeps up on you quick.
Yeah, even in the broadcast booth, you feel like you're just settling into the game in the end, and oh, we're halfway through the first already here, so I suppose we have to call the shots too.
Hair heavy. Back 4. Weight's close. T. Weight's good.
Ben Richardson with the outturn draw. Just looking to get by the rock in the top of the 8 foot.
Oof.
Does sneak by. Really nice shot there from Ben.
14-7. Really nice Ben.
Yeah, I think that Yellowstone that Schuster and Geving put into play on the last shot, they would have really liked that to be another
I was
couple
right
feet
next to
deeper. That would have prevented that
All right.
freeze from Ben there.
Curling pretty nice.
Schuster trying to follow on that line, just freeze up to the stone that Richardson threw.
15.
Playing his
It's all
outturn.
there.
I don't think it's crazy, though.
A little late on the push there, but
Just be
Line's
letting
really
it-
nice. Can't bounce on it, though. Line's good.
7.
Revving out okay, though.
About
Stay
there,
close.
I think. Yeah, it's probably about 14.5
Stay with
or
it.
so.
Looks about right based on what we've seen.
Oh, that's not fair.
That bounces off
It's better
the
line
yellow
than
and
it was.
rolls back.
Ah.
So pretty easy decision here for Richardson and Anderson.
Yeah, the ice conditions seem to be phenomenal here this week. I know I was talking to
Sucked
Sean
to get absolutely nothing out of my
Olison
first one.
earlier and about what he had to do when he got here, and he said the only reason he had to flood was put logos in. He said the conditions were already phenomenal, and you know that's great to hear from a new facility like this, that they're putting together such great conditions.
And a very stark contrast to a few weeks ago in the mall in East Rutherford for preparation for this event. But any ice crew would tell you preparing for a national championship in a curling club obviously is going to be
I think it's there, but it's
easier
close.
than going into an arena venue where
Line
you're
only.
essentially starting from
It's
scratch.
good.
Yeah, absolutely.
To it.
Trying to get this to dig a little
there.
bit. Line's getting better. They don't want to bounce off, but the line's very good now.
Ooh, don't want to set up a double here.
Still buries a
I was
good
hoping it would
piece.
Die a little and curl. I didn't.
I threw a 4.5 second peel. Oh my god.
Oh wait. Oh, sorry. You're
Do this for 3 though.
right. True.
So like I said, my worry with this is that we're just gonna maybe put a pair of pants back here. But I don't know that the red's gonna release far enough to give them that pair of pants. So like they're gonna be drawing
Seeing
another one in
6
here.
different rocks
Yeah.
going
I just don't
6
know if this
different
helps us that
directions
much
right now.
by
And
smashing.
I mean that as a compliment.
So explain to me the pair of pants.
I mean, they have both
I
sides
think
right
he's
now.
assuming
Yeah,
that
like
those
we're
2
kinda
yellow
hooked on
rocks
So
of their own,
I don't
Probably
mind
half.
if they
smashing
play
them.
these
that's
2
fine.
reds, even if he gets them to spill, then the 2 yellows will be sitting right next to each other in the back of the
We might get
4-foot
rid
for
of
an
3
easy
reds on this to be
double.
honest.
Yep.
And if I-
Down 2, it's good too.
So with this rock setup, a good opportunity to get, I wouldn't say out of trouble, Ben with that steady delivery, very little wasted movement.
It's close.
Great.
If you're going to teach a delivery
Hard line.
to a new curler, you probably would want to look at Ben's,
Hard.
just with taking out any wasted motion whatsoever. Very simple delivery, easy to repeat.
Sorry, Tay.
That one ends up
My
short
bad.
too.
7.
Yeah.
Jerry, there have been a couple games this week where, because obviously this is the only sheet we've had for the future games, where the teams thought that it was faster going away from the glass, so the odd ends, and then a little slower coming back towards the glass, the even ends.
Okay, yep.
And see a couple of misses short already, 3 in this
There it is,
end.
probably.
So maybe something we're watching out for with the speed.
Yeah, those are kind of the idiosyncrasies of every curling club, and you know it's
Fighting
it's
four
why
foot
it's
is-
important
Yeah.
to make friends
go
with
out
the ice
definitely a
crew
little further.
every
That's
time
right.
you walk in the club.
Compliment them. Say nice things about how great the ice is, even if you don't think it is.
25.
I
I
think you
get a
can.
read here
It's
on
way
this
out
one.
there. But that's fine,
Yeah,
I think.
it's not abnormal to see that in curling clubs. You get a warmer end of the building.
Okay,
and,
perfect. Bite
you
the
know,
4 foot line's really good.
That can affect the speed of the ice.
14-9 we get here. That's stopping a
Judge,
little
Aileen.
short. And we
Okay.
were seeing 15-2, 15-3 when it's been up to speed, getting to the 4s by itself. That one was
I
swept
think we're
the
trying
top
to make
8 at
the
14-9.
right 2 double, right?
So maybe again seeing that speed a little slower coming back this direction. And it's only been maybe every 3rd game or so. It hasn't been consistent throughout the week, but our first draw of the tournament, Jason Smith said it was significantly
like
slower
the size?
coming back towards the glass.
So what do you figure, Tyler? A second on hog to hog is what's about 6 feet
Get something.
difference in time.
That's probably about right. A good result there for Richardson, clearing those 2 yellow stones in the
Definitely not
top
the
of
way
the
they
8 foot. But yeah, 6 feet would probably be pretty close. I'd say that's the least amount.
It's out turn now, though.
So if that time is accurate,
Same
I'd
deal, I
say
think
we're
we're-
probably
Just full 4 foot is the right height here, Eileen.
Okay.
not quite a second, maybe half a second difference, if not a little bit more. So maybe 4 or 5 feet right now.
07.
Right
In
off.
a curling game, it's a 150-foot
Doesn't feel like
sheet,
that.
Close,
but the
though.
house is
Yep,
12
line.
feet. So 4 or 5 feet is very significant if that's the difference in speed.
Yeah, it's
Whoa, rope.
it's minute.
It's
and
tight, though. Close.
From talking to some of the curlers, the
Yep.
speed being so fast, you
Whoa.
really just got to set it down, and the difference
Full
between
four at this line.
being right and being
Okay,
too
whoa,
heavy
that's
is a slight extend on the release.
Ben, do you want me to sweep?
Gosh, these rocks
No,
just
I'm good.
feel gra-
Great weight. I think leaves the door open here for the freeze in return.
And John talking about the rocks feeling grabby, and he's referring to the fact he doesn't think they're coming out of the hand with much glide, that they feel like they're just kind of dragging a little bit. That may just be going in this direction, though, too. So now it'll be just as interesting to see in the third if we see some deep throws starting the end as opposed to coming up short with this adjustment.
It's close.
Richardson throwing the out-turn freeze.
Line's okay.
Gotta go a little.
You want help?
That was close.
Okay, line's good.
Line looks really good here.
Straight. Line's up.
It's all about the weight. Richardson can get it there. Oh, really good shot. Right to the top of the button. Not much they can do with that one
I mean, I don't
unless
have
they
a
can
ton
just
of it,
pick
but
that
I
rock
could definitely
out.
get rid of it. With
Oh,
like
just
board
here?
over the top, yeah. I mean, I'm just opening it back up for him again, but
And Shuster correctly saying if they do
yeah, I
pick
mean,
that
it's-
rock out,
it's dead buried.
it's
but
the
I
exact same draw, but you're
can-
making them
I
throw it
can
against
look up
3.
with board anyways. If I happen to rub the guard, I rub the guard.
Okay.
So.
So I don't know that you have much choice here, Jerry. You're probably just trying to pick it and hoping for a miss on the last to get a chance to score a multiple point end.
Well, you know that the swings go both ways. So in this scenario,
Yep.
in mixed doubles, a lot of times you
Yep.
see we'll happily give them 2 to not let the end turn into a disaster. I think that is always the big play here. You got to try and figure out how not to make a bad situation terrible.
Great sweep by Geving to get that by.
Good stuff.
Only sitting 1, but manages to keep the other yellow stone in too, and
Almost like
actually
in the draw,
moving that rock isn't
Just
terrible.
because, like,
now
we
there's
could play
no
this,
backing.
but if we nose it, gives them the double. I think I like the draw. It is yours, yeah. I think we play like here. Like if we're next to it, that's okay too, because it makes their draw for 2 tough.
Okay, I like 14-8.
Yeah, you
do
looked,
too, yeah.
Ben and,
It might be close
and
to like
Taylor
a-
looked at the hit to try and sit 2 there, just to kind of cut down the Geving Schuster stones, but leaves the double in return. So drawing against this situation, you got to be careful where you put this one that you don't leave a double.
Yeah, I
Final
like
stone
it.
of the end
Top 4T.
for Taylor Anderson and
Close.
Ben Richardson.
Line's good. Line's good.
Help.
And the same out-turn line on the draw they were before. This has to be there. Can't leave it short. Looks like they're carrying it.
Yeah, try and get a piece of that 4 foot.
Yeah, good sweep there. They will leave a shot for 2, but that'll be their worst case scenario.
Yeah.
I like
All
the
those
drop
hours
shot.
in the gym, Ben. Coach Mike's not going to be happy to hear that.
It's early. Second ending already, dying out
Thinking
there.
like edge of 8 with back line.
Yeah.
And he's
I
only
think
had
we'll
to
probably
sweep
take, like, middle of
Or
our
a little
yellow rock.
inside, you think?
He's
What?
been working
Oh,
hard.
5,
He's-
6
Middle
stones.
of our yellow rock. If you
He's
throw
been
me,
working
like, a
pretty
4.
hard. He made a couple nice draws last end and got them around.
Well, the nice thing with doubles is that most of the time right now he's sweeping his own stone, so he has nobody to blame but himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's throwing them short. The final stone, Geving and Shuster. Aileen playing the out-turn tap
Almost hack. It's almost hack.
for a second point.
Mine's close. Yep.
Anderson Richardson sitting shot rock. Line
Wow.
looks pretty good here. Needs to get up a little bit.
Good job, Aileen.
Keep the shooter in the forefoot.
Very nicely done. Good touch from Aileen. And they matched that too from Anderson and Richardson from the first end. 2-2 after 2 ends of play. And after the second end, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about Steve's Curling Supplies, America's #1 curling equipment supplier for over 50 years. Is proud to support USA Curling. No matter your skill level or budget, they have all the top products from the most popular brands in the sport. Right now, you can save $10 on any purchase of $100 or more when you use the code USACurling10 at checkout. Visit them at stevescurling.com for all your curling needs.
Yeah, Steve's Curling Supplies, they've got an amazing shop there in Madison. I remember dropping in several years ago, and it's like a curling museum. It's one of my favorite photos I saw there was the bull from the Bull Trophy.
Yeah.
You know, Steve and his team went and played that years ago, and yeah, it's amazing the curling memorabilia and the collection and stuff that the Browns have put together over the years. So again, now they got to remember this is the faster side.
What we believe to be, yes, from what we've seen so far. No trouble for Aileen on that throw, though. That's perfectly done.
Yeah, nice adjustment. John left that a hair short. He underread it.
It's great.
But I don't know. You know what? You put it on the
I had to,
button
like,
there.
I
You
had
know,
it in my
there's
pocket,
questions.
so
Do you
I'm
want to
like,
weld
switch everything
to the
up.
back red one? Or, you know, do you want to sit top button in that situation?
Yeah, as the team without the hammer, it's never a bad thing to just be right up to it. Now, if this was with hammer, you'd definitely see them throwing it to top 4, top button. But that's not a bad spot for a team without hammer either, this early in the end especially.
Yeah, we see that with some of the research that we've done in shot selection and stuff where, yeah, here we go, a little heavy. Didn't catch the read on this, and this is going to slide right on through.
Yeah, you know,
fastest spot in the sheet there.
we've mentioned throughout the week, you like looking smart as commentators, even if it ends up being
I
in a
said
miss.
freeze
You're
or
not
tap
cheering
it,
for it, but we have seen that be the miss on this sheet, especially early in the game before the teams pick up on it, being quicker going away. And that one, I don't think Taylor thought she was
18.
all that heavy coming down, and probably thinking they were going to tap them around too, but just ends up being a little wide, a little heavy.
Little curling to do,
When you
though.
talk about youth and experience,
curl, Aileen.
the differences
7-8.
between
Right off,
you
you're
know,
never straight
the
with
age
this
of
one.
these two games and
Never
curling
anything
being
against
a lifelong sport. You know, this is where teams like Schuster
Yep,
and
maybe
Geving
bounce it.
have played
I
so
don't know.
much that they usually
Not bad.
figure this stuff out. But yeah, John slides a little heavy here too.
This is the top-notch analysis you get from the best in the business here in the booth, too. Because I've only gotten to watch this sheet 8 times throughout this week so
Seen a
far.
hair less?
So
Yeah, I've done a lot of streaming
Seen a
now
little
over the
less?
last 2-3 years, and you get to sit and watch sheets, and you hope the teams go and watch this stuff to get a feel themselves, right? Because there's so much you can learn from sitting on one sheet the whole time.
well, we've mentioned now over the last couple days that we've had 3 players
Close.
come in that are playing in the
Team.
competition and be co-commentators. And they were playing in the next draw. Twice they were playing on this sheet the next draw. No rule against that, and that's a great scouting report you get. Should also mention that all 3 of those players are 3-0 in those games following sitting in the chair where you're at, Jerry. So
maybe
every advantage you can get. That's not one you get very often in competition, but it's a pretty big one.
Yeah, maybe this will help get a few more bodies up in the booth here.
I would be shocked if we didn't see Jason Smith in here again after the broadcaster bump that he got from this morning with a 9-point win.
To get to.
Right.
But if I can freeze the nose of it.
Yeah, let's get
So
to know.
locks
But even
the
if it's
freeze
a little
on the
high, too,
front.
it's
Good
also,
adjustment there
like,
from
makes it where if they do
Anderson
tap it, it bounces
Richardson.
out that
Sure.
way, so. I'm going to take a fair amount tighter ice, though.
Okay.
Your tighter ice, and we see rocks turn over a little bit earlier, getting closer to the center too. So we'll see if this curls.
Really soft, though. I think that one's good.
I don't think John minds wrecking the guard here, though.
Top 4.
Okay, plenty of room. Line's good, though.
Text comes in from Jason Smith.
Still lots of
Yes,
room,
sir,
though.
another W
Right
for
on it.
broadcasters.
Right off, then.
Does texting count? He's trying to get the bump from afar. That does not
Don't wanna
count.
bump it,
Well,
but it's
I
not
guess I don't
curl,
know.
It's not curl. It's
We're
not
going to find
curl.
out now.
Okay, it's good.
Pretty good spot there for John. I think he's happy with that.
Yeah, just put another one in the way.
Yeah, and this situation we see
Yeah,
so
I don't
often
really
with
see what a
doubles
freeze does us, you know.
where it takes multiple shots
Just trying to figure out which way we want to run it. Probably this way.
and you only get so many shots in an end. So
This
now by placing that
hunty
stone
here,
where Schuster did,
high
it's making it
stays.
that much tougher for Richardson
Like
and
trying to catch
Anderson
this
to
side
get
of
that
it,
stone
right?
out and try to score.
Probably the intern.
Nice crowd here at the Traverse City Curling Club. This was an old Kmart
little
store
more.
in a mall here.
Not
downtown.
Kevin Martin, the department store itself.
Yes.
Curling lines might go directly to the Old Bear.
Yeah, Kmart was a store himself with how good he was at winning in his days.
Run back here from Ben Richardson, trying to get a bunch of granite moving. And definitely does.
This one I
Pretty
think
good
was
result.
That's fine.
Because it
I don't know what
bumped
the-
into it. It was
I don't know
going
what
pretty
happened.
hard.
Oh, in that direction.
Yeah,
sure,
like,
and then
okay.
it, yeah.
I think Ben's right there. All those rocks were
because
moving pretty fast.
Anything they can hit there.
If they
Or
need a
anything they
thumbs
can draw
up
there
from
is
here.
They have to get all the way to the 4 foot. So.
Right. And the guard's longer.
I mean, I could also draw under that thing, but I just think that's a.
So pretty good shot there, considering. I mean, they really weren't
I
going to
don't
get
really want to roll anywhere.
much chance
No, I
to
like
score more than one, if not just
still
give up
gonna
a
go
steal. So might as well make
Yeah.
it easier. So I mean, we are getting the thumbs up from the booth here. That rock was definitely going out. So rightly called by Ben. Schuster playing the open hit, now a little more traditional curling shot.
Clean. Yep.
Playing for the force or a soft steal.
Whoa. Clean. Good.
Nice 9 there.
Yeah, and John wisely playing it a little firm too in the outside of the sheet. Not quite
feel like it's
certain
middle.
on what the speed would be like.
Just,
Take the ice out of it,
this
throw
guy.
it good.
Yep.
That's a good curling 101.2, Jerry, for any type of curling. You get in the outside ice and you have an open hit. Throw it a little more firm just because you're not sure if it's going to be a little. Look at the scores on the other sheets for this draw. On sheet B, Weldon and Franey, 2-0 lead over Podol and Perry. Sheet D, Baron Oldenburg commanding 7-0 lead over Regan and Todd Burr. And on sheet E, the Hamilton siblings 2-1 over Anderson and Stapera. Again, our feature sheet. Here on sheet C, as we have been all week. 2s in all 3 ends so far with Hammer.
Hard, Ben, hard.
Taylor Anderson and Ben Richardson leading 4-2.
Sorry,
Draw to
Tay.
the top
Good
of the forefoot from Taylor. Again, maybe stopping a little quicker than they expected, Jerry, with coming back towards the glass. I think we're pretty certain on the uphill, downhill right now.
I'd say that's some pretty good adjustments out of the Anderson-Richardson team here. I think they caught on a hair quicker last end.
Yeah.
And got that second stone frozen in well, and we'll see what Eileen's got here. She made a great shot last end. She had the times down, so we'll see if she can get this one there. Ooh, you might need to go, John.
Oh, that's well read there.
Beauty.
Good job. Nice throw from the 2001 World Juniors 6th place finisher, Aileen Van Sormanen.
Yeah, Eileen's been a long time skip and top player in the United States, and very talented player that I don't think a lot of people necessarily know about as well as they should.
You see Coach Dad, Wayne Anderson, watching behind the sheet. Nice for him that his daughters are on the same draw, so he can watch them while he's coaching on every game.
Outside of having to play each other, which is always part of the fun.
That already happened. Got that game out of the way. The most painful moment for Wayne and Arlene this week. That's the issue when you have that talented of offspring.
Yes, and there's several several more siblings that
yes, there are.
Have competed over the years that are not here.
Speaking of tough-minded, rigid coaches, there's John's bride, Sarah Schuster. I asked Sarah before this game about, if she's real stern with John and making sure that she cracks the whip on him. And she said, no, it's more of just going, please, 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 come on, please. Moving the rocks with her mind.
Okay.
Yeah, that's someone who's watched a lot of curling over the years.
Oh, yes.
Sarah's a very smart, knows the game very well, and I think that's a great place for her to get involved too.
And make no mistake, she's charting a lot of stuff in that book. I saw her notes. She's reading rocks from other sheets. She's charting lines on the sheets. Talking, giving positive feedback on makes from in the meetings they get to have. Talking about, hey, this was a really good throw. That's nice to hear sometimes.
I don't mind
we
maybe
always get
saving
that
that for
from Coach
another
Phil
shot.
Grobnick,
Here first.
Absolutely, keeps her busy too. The stress of watching is often harder.
That's a good point.
Than playing.
I think right in the middle of these two lines is good.
Okay.
Like halfway.
So that top 4 stone now is kind of in the way here a little bit for Anderson Richardson. They're going to have to try and get around this, I think. Is that the call here?
Line's close.
I think it's all there for weight.
Where?
Halfway tight. It's okay.
Over and off.
Okay.
Over curl.
Halfway.
Whoa, whoa.
That's the first one this week. I made it a long ways with
Sit down.
Yeah, as you noted, Ty, while muted,
sorry.
it's a guard going up.
Yeah.
And
one time this week, they're catching grief already. See, that's what I get for skipping a game, too. But a guard probably the smart shot there, too.
I think that overcurled, though.
Right.
But it just opens a drop for him. I could also try to run this one in there. I think if I throw the same thing I just do and hit it where I just did, like our yellow might even squirt in front and be in the way.
Looks like red is just shot.
I got just enough to make it.
Yeah, I just don't know that picking it really does
I can
that
double
much.
peel the top too right now.
Yeah, Eileen's saying if we pick it, that may not help because
mind
then
the
that
double
opens
field.
that freeze up on the back
Play
one.
the yellow run.
Yeah, it gives them a chance to make it better.
I'm just trying to decide if it helps us.
I don't know. It's, you know what, this is not an easy game, and,
Oh, yeah.
and
Probably have enough of that back red where we get still.
there is
Still
less
playing,
sweeping
into it.
in mixed doubles. You don't quite have as much power with the 2 sweepers you get in 4 players, so it's a little harder to be perfect. Sometimes you got to make the other team make something.
Close. Close. Yep. Yep.
Playing the outturn side instead, trying to play that back. Well, that'll do too. And the shooter ends up guarding that rock that rolled away too, so really
You like
nice
that?
there from Schuster.
Yep.
It does, but it leaves that red 3/4 open
Yeah, just
there.
straight tap it.
At least you're having to make them tap it a significant distance compared to a normal mixed doubles tap, which would be probably a foot or 2. And they're doing it against a 3 or a 4 at this point, so
Yeah,
a little more pressure on.
Yeah, the other part of this is that if you don't make it good, that top yellow that's in the 12-foot comes into play as a scoring rock now too. So very easy to leave a double in return here if you're not careful.
In-turn tap for Richardson. Trying to play that red stone in the top of the 8-foot up into the 4s.
Looks a little tight.
Definitely tight out of hand.
Lots of rotation on this, though. Might help keep it straight.
It needs to keep going even now. Want to hold that angle and not over curl.
Yep.
Good, Ben.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
Nice sweep by Ben. Again, you threw it, Ben. You're wearing yourself out.
Yeah, you know what?
Almost the
It's
same
always
thing.
about throwing to the sweepers. So you know what? He made a good throw there and a great sweep. No double in return, which is really the key here. So heck of a shot.
And so
think I can
often
make
you
this
tell your
and chisel
sweepers
it out
when
of
they
the
have a
4-foot.
great sweep, I owe you a beer.
I think I can.
Ben's just reaching in his own pocket.
Okay.
Again, wrecking the guard's fine, but
Like hack or what?
well, in order to chisel them out, I got to probably get there with board.
Okay.
But again, I got to err on wrecking the guard. I can't hit it too thin. So
So John thinks he can play board weight and move both these red stones. He needs to hit probably 4/5.
so maybe I'm gonna throw you closer, like 12.
Okay.
Also could just poke that red stone through the hole and leave the counter. Ben confirming he's alive through gasps.
Close.
Good news is Taylor throws the next one, and Ben will get a little bit of a break here, hopefully.
All right,
He
Aileen,
might
gotta
lean
go.
towards playing the hit
Gotta go.
on this
Need a
last
little
shot
more.
if there's an
Little
option.
more, little more. All right, that's fine.
Does get through the hole, so at least makes that red stone
I
a
think
little
it's just
more
the guard.
lonely.
Guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little danger time here. 4 yellows creeping around the edges.
Not against it. If we go here, that's pretty good. It's just if we're here, we leave them a double.
They're talking about the guard, Jerry, because looking at
right here.
the other guards that are in play and the rocks that are up in the top of the rings, they don't really see much of an angle to play any of them in to take that red stone out.
Yeah, nothing easy. You can go red onto
You can
yellow
go
right down
close
the
to
center
middle 12.
line there and maybe pick it out.
Probably the best one, and you could even get a
Close.
redirect off your yellow stone on the top of the 4-foot to make it.
So just a
But
little more than that.
very difficult, and they feel that safer playing the guard as opposed to coming in and possibly leaving them some kind of double.
Yeah.
All there for
You know what?
Tight guard.
I think it's a good risk
Tight
reward
guard.
play up 2 here. There's a very good chance you get a steal out of this, and even if
Letting it come
Shuster and Geving make
Pretty
the
tight.
shot here, you're probably giving up 3, most likely. So,
Looks like a good guard here from Taylor.
yeah.
Good shot.
Yeah, and even if you do give up 3 here, you're still
Maybe
right in the game.
Release is better coming off of one of these rocks, but
Come in.
Is it
do we
worth
really
playing
wanna
the red
add
red
rocks
in
to
with the
mix
risk
that
too?
Right.
Whereas this
I think
one,
if you're Schuster, you throw the
but
middle
it's just
too.
hard to
You
hit
go
it
red
hard
on
enough
the
to get
yellow
it all
just
the way out of the
because
4
you might as well
foot.
push throw a
'Cause
yellow
you're hitting
back
it
in there.
Pretty dang thin.
Right.
So, I mean,
Yeah, John was
You
just
make
looking
this
at the
over the
angle
top.
run
That's
from the
what
top
I'm-
or you
12
can make
stone
this
there.
dead
You know what? I
inside
think that's a
nose and just-
decent call
that's
as
for
well.
4. Like this
That
is
way.
for 4. I think this is as
That's
easy as
probably
anything.
easiest.
Yeah, so I think you're just hitting this
Just inside nose?
I mean, you got to cross nose a tiny bit, yeah.
So now they're
Yeah, I like that.
electing to play the yellow with the 2 rocks that are on the 4-foot line. So just crossing the nose of that yellow corner guard, shooting it into their own in the top, biting the top of the 4-foot,
What's that? Yeah.
trying to hit about a third of that one into the red,
Whatever you want to hit
if
it.
not thinner.
I'd rather see you over curl than never have a chance. So, maybe not. Just make it.
Yep.
That's what I want to see, actually.
Very difficult shot here, but high reward. Could be for 4, so it could be a big swing on the scoreboard. Final shot for Aileen Geving in this 4th end.
Close. Oh.
Looks
I don't
close.
like the silence. I don't think.
Yeah.
Oh, really close. Just
Good
needed
try.
to curl a half an inch maybe. So it is a steal of 1 to get a 5-2 lead at the break for Richardson and Anderson. And 4th end break means we're halfway through and it's time for the Broomfitters break. Broomfitters.com is the place for good curling gear and fast shipping on everything curling. For a limited time, take 10% off your first order with the code USA. Visit Broomfitters.com.
Asking the hard-hitting questions that you want to hear. Welcome to On the Couch with Scott Strauss.
Welcome to Conversations on the Couch with Scott Strauss here at the 4th end break. So Danny, I heard you think the world is flat. Defend that position.
I have to defend the flat Earth position.
Well, I mean that's what I heard your
I'd like
position
to.
was.
Well, I just put on record that is not my position whatsoever. Where'd you hear that?
Well, they told me you would answer that way because they.
Right, because that's what a flat. Right?
Yeah, in public you don't do it, but like I just heard that. So we can definitely move on. Not a big deal. Cats versus dogs. What makes a better pet?
Dogs, 100%.
I would agree. I think cats. I mean, I guess it depends on the cat, but dogs are more friendly and fun, and I don't think you can like go. You don't walk a cat, right? No.
So you're basically a cat hater.
You don't walk a cat. Yeah, you could say I'm a cat hater.
And did something in your youth, the trauma that fired this cat
No, to
hating
be honest, no.
person?
We had cats when I was really young, and I don't remember
You didn't torture them,
disliking
did you?
them. I don't think so.
Okay.
But
Is water wet?
Is ice cold?
I'm asking you the question. Live right now, but we're gonna do thumb wars.
Thumb wars?
Yep.
yeah,
But so let's see it. Let's knock yourself out. Let's see who goes.
I can't think of the last.
remember
time.
how to do this.
You gotta go 3
One.
times. Yep.
Then you go this way?
You go 1, 2, 3, thumb war.
Okay.
But then where do you go? You're trying to
Oh,
go
you're
this
trying to
way.
pin
Well,
the thumb
that's
down.
that's your
gotcha.
problem.
Yeah, I'm not telling.
I'm not telling you where to go. Wait, 1, 2, 3.
Thumb war.
Chick.
You're running away. I won.
So Danny wins and you're.
Second half of our feature matchup here for Pool B, the 2024 USA Curling Mixed Doubles National Championship. Tyler George with Curling Zone CEO and czar Jerry Gertz. Jerry starting off the second half with the power play, and heard not unusual at all to see Shuster using that power play coming out of the break. They tend to use it a little bit faster or a little earlier than most teams.
But not a ton.
It's fast.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you got to find a way to get back in this game here. At a minimum, the power play keeps the middle open, makes it easier to make sure you score, and sometimes it's about getting rid of that hammer too.
Weight's good.
Because it's such a great game to steal in it as well.
In turn, tick shot being played by Taylor Anderson. Richardson getting his sweeps in again right out of the gates.
That's going to go through.
That's a whole lot of sweeping for nothing from Ben, as that rock's going to go back where it was. Just electing to use the rock that was thrown instead of replacing it with the other one. I don't know if there's a rule on that, Jerry, that... Yeah, now Ben's asking the same.
I've been throwing 7-8.
Can you do that? I don't think I've ever seen it.
Well, the rocks here are nicely labeled with the USA Curling logo velcroed on top of those stationary stones. So it's clearly obvious what just happened there. I think most of the time you see teams playing mixed doubles, you wouldn't even know the difference.
Okay.
Yeah, neither team has any issue with it or the officials, so I guess that rock is just going to stay there. So what we're mentioning is that you can't remove any stones from play in the first 3 throws of any mixed doubles end. Doesn't matter where the rock is. Obviously, that stone was removed on Taylor Anderson's first. So when that happens, you take the stone that was removed and put it back to where it was. Ben just replaced it with the stone that was thrown. So it's in the place that the other rock was before, but it is not the same stone. So I don't know that that's legal to do, but I don't think it will materially affect the game unless that's a bad rock that's slow.
We're there.
And if it ends up being moved, it doesn't go as far or something like that. But
yeah, it's more of a common sense implementation of the game, right?
Correct.
Like, it might not be totally in line. I think you saw something interesting about how you can't remove anything. The free guard zone essentially in this game is everywhere, and Aileen threw the draw to split the rings and lie 2 in this situation, and that rock is safe as well. So, I think it creates different ways to set these openings up.
decent freeze attempt there by Richardson. Schuster thinks they can bump this out.
Just want like back 8 weight or so to change the angles and leave your stone essentially safe underneath the red and the yellow. And yeah, you know what? Actually, it's quite a bit open.
Right to it, Aileen. Gotta go.
We're going to be able to get underneath here.
On the red, go.
Got to get that out of the 8 foot to sit 2 and does. Just 2, but a good shot because that shooter rolls undercover for Schuster too.
Nice shot.
All of a sudden, it's danger zone time here for Anderson Richardson. It looks like they're going to run the guard here. It's part of the challenge of running back guards and mixed doubles. You really got to make contact in the house, or it's kind of a wasted shot.
Yeah, this is a big one now for Richardson. One he probably doesn't have to sweep, so there's that for Ben. Take a break, Benny.
Come on. Go on that one. Go on that one.
It's going to be close. That's still, though, a really good shot by Ben, even though it doesn't clear that second one. There isn't anywhere that Geving and Schuster could roll to if they hit that red stone to try to make the others count.
Yeah.
That wouldn't leave a double of some kind back there.
Or even a big wall to lay one in front of.
If I freeze on it, it's nice to keep it there. He's got
The other challenge is a berry around that corner guard may not be shot either. So, yeah, very well thrown rock there out of Ben Richardson. Key make.
So Shuster, 2001 Olympic trials participant, throwing the out turn back to this stone.
Yep.
Nobody else has gone to the Olympics since then.
I had to go back a long ways, and the joke was the Dave Nedewin one from the TSN broadcast where he was a commentator, and they put 2004 Brier runner-up.
Yeah.
After winning, of course, 4 in a row. So I had to go back, and I don't know what place he finished in, to 2001 to get one that John didn't win. So that's as big a compliment as I can pay him.
Can you tell me who John was playing with that year?
You want to just nose this one?
I'm going to do some research, figure it out. But
no.
And if John could legally drive by that point,
he would have been 19, I believe,
only
at the time.
thing is, I can see. I don't really see anything else. I think just nose.
I remember John and the baby face
Control.
in 2006 in Torino.
Yeah, had to go past that one. That's a medal year. So Aileen had maybe a better year than John did in 01.
In 01?
She was at the Junior Worlds.
Was that she was Salt Lake City?
That was, Ogden. Her and I were both there as alternates for the Andy Rosa squad and the Nicole Jorenstad squad. Jason Smith texts, "It was me. We won 2 games." So there you are, folks. That's a banner season for John in his Olympic career. 2 wins in the trials in 01.
So the hit on the open stone, an interesting call here to lie essentially second and third shot.
Moving even matters, to be honest.
A little bit of a damage mitigation call there.
Back red, all it's going to do is make it where if they go nose, it might move from being out counting this one.
The far one, yeah,
right.
True. So just to it.
Yeah, I mean, I could also put a double off this thing.
The squad apparently was Shuster, Smitty, Jeff Tooney, Kevin Johnson, and Joel Marinac. There's some names. Only will remember on a few of them if you played Joe Marinac there. He came up with Joel. Recognize all those names, obviously, though.
Same weight.
Bet Kevin Johnson didn't think he was going to get mentioned on the broadcast today.
Line's pretty
How
good.
you doing, Kevy, if you're
Just
watching?
to it.
Go ahead, then.
He's best man at Kevin's wedding.
Still got to curl a little, though. It's going, though. You go. You can go if you need to. Line's
We're
good.
there.
So there's curling still going on here. Out
It's
turn,
bumping a little.
Close, yep.
freeze attempt to this pile
Whoa, 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 whoa.
from our 01 trials participant. Really well done there. Great shot by John. Might have moved it out of count.
This one and this one.
Okay.
And if
I don't know. I think I would have wanted to move that a little further and bump that red far enough to.
say even if you're like here, that's okay too.
Yep.
That does not sound okay to me. That leaves the thin double for a bundle here.
Yeah.
I'm seeing like edge of forefoot.
You got to bring this into the house,
Do you think that's minimum?
I think. Even if you throw it just in where there's no double with this one and the one biting the 8-foot in the back, the worst you're giving up is 2.
Like a 15.
I think the key is here, just have the angle right. It kind of doesn't matter how deep you go,
right?
As long as the
Throw it to
angle
you,
is
sweep it
set
back
up
there.
well. Like you almost want to just corner freeze on the Schuster's stone that he just threw, you know, maybe an inch.
Waist close.
And that if you keep that line a little bit in front, that rock
Wanna
will
go
jam
little?
if Schuster or Aileen has a chance at a double here.
I'd be tempted just to throw it top 8. Let him play the hit for 2 to miss the backing. You're still up by 1 with hammer in your power play. You come down here, as long as it's staggered on the inside, you're okay.
I think line's great here. It's going to be really good.
That should be probably safe to
Pretty good.
only give up 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
It's over.
Pretty well managed there.
Yeah, I don't think you want it to be frozen on the nose or in front of directly on the nose.
Yeah, nose would have possibly left a triple
Yeah.
for 4.
You just heard Ben
You like
You just heard Ben say that was the right way to, quote, miss it. So,
Right. That's where the tolerance was.
With like the middle of our yellow?
Sure. It's got to be an inch high. Half inch high. It's good.
So Geving, that 01 season, she went to Junior Worlds. National runner-up skip at 14 years old.
Whew.
With my sister, now Courtney Benson, Amanda Jensen, Amanda McLean.
Yep. Whoa, whoa, curl.
So hit for 2 for Geving.
Curl. Clean, clean.
That's well done. Appears to be 2. They're going to take a look to make sure. Maybe give us an easy measure. Nope. 2 it is. So score now 5-4. After 5 ends of play, Anderson Richardson still leading. Spinning around at the scores in the other sheets. On sheet B, Podol and Perry tied up with Weldon and Franey, 4-4.
Any preference?
Sheet D, Barron Oldenburg now out to an 8-0 lead on Burr and Burr. And on sheet E, big matchup between Matt and Becca Hamilton. Sarah Anderson and Andrew Stapera tied at 3 in the 6th.
Yeah, that's a critical game right now for the Hamiltons. They're sitting at 2-2 after their first 4 games. Anderson Stapera at 3-1. So it's really about staying in the mix for the playoffs.
Yeah, that's the group could get a lot messier if Matt and Becca win that game. Things separate a little more with a win from Sarah and Andrew.
So yeah, Taylor and Ben are at 2-2 as well, and hoping to bring Geving Shuster back to the pack a little bit. They're at 4-0, so it looks like we are going to get a little bit of a mad scramble here with the way the results look right now.
Yeah, if the Hamiltons were to win and Taylor and Ben were to win here, that's where things really start to get ugly for the draw.
Yeah, we also see Madison Bear and Aiden Oldenburg at 2-2.
Right.
I believe they were leading.
Looks
heavy.
Over
They're
the
up
Burrs.
8-0, yeah, so that we can probably assume is a victory to get them to 3-2.
And Brianna Weldon and Sean Franey out of, I think they're listed as California. They're also Colorado. I know Brianna's from Oakland, I believe.
They could get to 3-2 with a win.
Yeah, absolutely. And they are currently tied with, Podol Perry right now.
It got
so
frozen?
it's going to get wild, Tyler.
So we're not frozen then?
We love mass chaos in the booth. They do not for the ice crew. But only one tiebreaker round will be played regardless of how many ties there are. So we could see head-to-head and last shot draw come into play if things do get messy.
Should be close then.
Feels close.
Schuster throwing intern draw.
Line's not good.
What we believe is going
Got a lot of
uphill
curling to do,
on
Aileen.
this
It's no
sheet.
good right now. It's trying though.
Again, seeing
Get
rocks
better.
all above the tee line,
Good.
Jerry, on this coming back this direction.
Yep.
All the way in there, right to the nose.
You know, this is
Right to the
where
nose, Evan, go.
having the mental fortitude, having good fitness levels, help
like
you
just
remember
slashing this
those
guy?
little things. Because
just,
when
like,
you're only
planting it here?
you only got 5 stones to throw, you waste one. That's 20% of
can't
your
see
opportunity
that.
that just goes up and poof. Very nice
Normal?
shot there from Schuster.
Yeah, good position now for Aileen and John.
trying to hit
They're
like a
surprised at all,
quarter,
Jerry,
right?
that Anderson Richardson didn't use their power play here in 6 and saved it.
We could hear them talking in the break a little bit, and they wanted to save it. So I think they're looking
Little more, I
ahead the 8th end or potentially 7th end if they give up a steal here. It's, you know, the power play, as much as it is for scoring, it's also about defending the lead too.
Right.
And you know, if you can keep that in your back pocket, that's just another huge advantage later in the game too.
Outturn slash run in for Richardson here.
Heavy.
One of those that is always thinner than you think. Not that thin, though. That does go by.
We're doing something with this one now.
I know.
Ben felt like he overthrew that a little bit.
What'd you get?
He's still gonna have that then.
What?
If you're Anderson and
I can hit
Richardson
and roll
here,
off it too, but then they're playing the run all day, which I'm okay with too.
Jerry, if you score a point, you feel pretty good about where you're at, because even giving a 2 in the 7th as they save that power play, now you have that power play in a tie game in the last end. So I'm sure that's the thought process, is all we really need to do in 6 is score, and then make sure we don't give up 3. And even if you did, you'd still have your power play down 1. So the game maps out very well for them right now, without giving up a steal.
You can almost consider that power play a point in hand in that regard. So, you know, giving up that deuce here is
solid.
Yep.
Sorry, getting 1, giving up 2 would, you know, that's sort of optimal.
Whoa, close though. Whoa.
In this case, to then come home with that power play. Of course, that mistake is going to make things more complicated here.
Nice.
Well, that's a really good setup now.
Yeah.
Good shot by John.
The good thing here is, though, is it defines their plan up front. You're going to be hitting
It just
something.
hits it a little further.
Well,
again, though, you got to make contact with something
then he
in the
just
house.
freezes here.
Okay. You like that, bro?
I think I like this.
Okay. Intern?
Intern, yeah.
So now the 2001 Olympic trials names are coming out in text. Joe Polo says his squad went 0-3. Had Joe Roberts Jr., John Chandler, and Travis Jackson. Boy, these are some great names that pop up. It's going to interest like 20 people watching, but I really don't care at this point. Everybody in the booth probably enjoys it. Good run there, Joe. Got you some good experience for 06 at least.
That's really the great thing about the community around the sport here. You know, it's like USA Curling has such a long history of great players over the years, and you know, there's so many new fans to the game now that are just learning about that history and how far back that goes.
Is it ever worth like tapping this one to like a pair of pants here or just sitting here? Like they're gonna make it easy for them to like play a slash double, but then it's
John
gonna
Benton
be
here in the booth
the expense of
says they
like,
took one
getting
on the chin
here,
at the
like, doing that,
Evelyn
making them throw
Hippodrome in
against
the
a bunch.
qualifiers in that 01 trials.
Or
I played with my
this.
cousin Tanner,
What's
but
that?
also
Or
got
the
scooped
other
up
way.
after we got
The
knocked
problems are
out by, I
sure
believe,
rolling
my father.
Like I could tap that and make that the pair of pants.
Oh, maybe we
and
did
be
that in the
side by side
97
here.
trials.
That might work too.
Yeah, they all run
We'll
together.
lie 2 out of the deal.
Right.
That might be it. Just dead nose tap with like back button.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that run back of the guard is,
I
you
just
know, the
hate to leave,
concern
like, a
about
cross
not getting
step
anything in the
Downside
rings.
of this, if I under curl it a tiny bit.
Yeah,
Or if
but we can't guard everything,
pretty-
so
What?
I like this.
I might like the other one better.
Okay.
I'm not
Angles
sure.
are playing so well
You know
right
what?
now
Let's
for
just make this. I'll do this.
Schuster and Geving.
Try to throw you a T-line. So I'm trying to throw you like a 10.
A little bit of back and forth
don't
on the
go,
shot
careful,
call there. You
water.
saw Aileen jump back and forth
not
on
great yet.
which side she wanted to be on that
It's gonna be curl,
stone.
Eileen. It's never
Just
gonna be
T-line.
straight. Get over to the other side and curl and go.
They want to move the angles a little bit. You heard T-line.
Careful. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Straight. 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 Just bounce it a tiny bit off the yellow. Bounce it. Bounce it if you can. Okay.
We might be able to get all those moving now, Jerry.
I'm
I
calling
think
the
we want to catch
quad.
it a little on this side. I think all 4 might go.
I think that's set up
Get rid of
just
3
about
for sure.
perfect to get all of them to go.
Yeah, I'd like to
Ben's
hit it a hair high. I'm going to throw this hard.
eyes lit up like a Christmas tree when he saw these stop. And not the good kind of tree where you're angling rocks so you can't take more than one out. This is the one where they all go.
Yeah, the key here is you got to hit it a little bit on the, is that the high side?
Well, we'll see which turn he's throwing. I think he's throwing the out turn, so I think it's the low side.
Okay, whatever is on the outside of that yellow stone.
He's playing the in, so the high side.
You really don't want to cross the nose here and just nut it right on the top.
Yeah, tight is not where you want to be on this one.
Close. Come on.
Looks pretty good.
Good.
There it is.
Oh, needed it just a hair thinner to
Yeah,
get
but
that one to spill, but it's still a really good result there for Ben.
Yeah, you know what? When you step back and take a look at how this end played out,
Don't get to throw
total
shots like
0
that.
early in the end.
Wanted to get rid of all 4 of them.
And Anderson Richardson will have an open shot to score here. So,
And that was objective A for sure in this end. Again, as we mentioned, scoring a point gives you a really high percentage chance of winning this game. Geving playing the hit and stick.
Over nose right now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Trying to at least force to 1.
Atta girl.
Which it does. So it'll be a shot for 1, wide open for Taylor Anderson. See the clocks there. Just under 6 minutes and counting for Taylor and Ben.
Control.
4:57
Control.
for
10-5.
Aileen and John. Neither team in dire straits. Just about on pace.
I believe timeouts are all still active too.
Yep. Both teams have their timeout remaining. Final stone of the 6th end. Taylor Anderson, out turn, hit, and stick for 1.
Whoa.
Wait's close.
Very important
Girl.
point.
Wait's good.
Girl.
Hasn't got across the center line
Hard.
yet.
Really
Hard
nice
to
control
stay.
weight,
Hard.
That's really got a curl to stay. That's going to be a steal of 1 for Shuster and Geving. Very important point. And all tied up now, 5-5 after 6 ends of play.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
All-important steal there from Geving and Shuster after the rollout by Taylor Anderson on her final stone. To start the 7th end.
22.
All tied up at 5.
Really tight.
What?
Line's good.
Power play will be in action for Anderson and Richardson. They'd really like to score at least a 2 this end. Geving throwing the tight guard
Nice shot.
on the center line. Good start, playing for the steal.
Yeah. Yours curled nice here.
Yeah,
Again, important to know which way you're throwing to make sure that guard gets put in the right spot.
Yeah, nice glide on that one, and both teams seem to have picked up on
Little light, maybe.
the speed going both
Top
directions
12.
now. As you mentioned, Jerry, it looked like Ben and Taylor actually had a grasp a little bit sooner, and that's how they had that lead earlier in the game that's
close.
evaporated now.
whole point of that lead is to still give you the advantage here in 7.
Yeah, and they do have that now using the power play. And good spot from Taylor. Still a pretty good piece of it showing, but not a bad result.
And again, that rock is safe right now. You'd think you could go and play a hit on those 2 in the rings, but essentially you can't remove anything from play yet. And so Shuster and Aileen here have to play another one around the middle. It's kind of a little bit of a game of chicken here.
Out-turn draw from Shuster. Like this to sit right on the top of the button will be perfect. Still going. A hair deep, but mostly buried.
Yeah, I think that the real issue here is just the fact that this came out from underneath the guard.
I'm seeing the hack.
Yep.
Here more, maybe.
In turn for Richardson.
A little heavy.
Probably just hack.
Yep.
Really tight on line. Sure they wanted to play this to either get the guard or the rock. Looks like it's still by now. A good sweep from Ben. Give himself a pat on the back. There is a double lined up for Shuster though with where that ended up.
Yeah, they really wanted to roll there. I think leaving it there is not ideal right now.
I'm not positive I can hit it out, though. Well, I think 2/3.
Shuster could play that little chip and roll back underneath. There's lots of great curl here. You can probably get a little bit under.
It's not crazy.
The other option, hit and roll towards the side red. If you throw enough weight and get a flat enough roll, you can make the double. But if you ever just roll and kind of corner freeze on that red, you're really set up well.
Yep. Whoa, yep.
Shuster with the in-turn.
Hard! Hard!
Playing either the double or the roll.
Look at this.
That's a pretty good shot. The raise is there. Needed to catch it just a hair thinner to clear that stone, or a little thicker to roll to it. So kind of end up right between.
It's tight though. That rock is about a quarter buried. The red stone in the top 12.
We do see these finish very hard once they get out to the wing going inside out. So you'll get a little curl past the guard too. Not an easy shot for Richardson, but I would say they're happy to have this one based on what was left from the previous shot.
I think you got to worry about where this shooter goes too. You know, that has to be part of the consideration, and maybe even the main consideration, because if you can ever hit this right, roll your shooter far enough, you might be able to get one back underneath the center again too.
Early sweep call from Anderson.
Yeah, on the curl too.
It's really curling now.
Yeah.
Boy, Ben really got that one moving. Great sweep.
Heck of a shot.
Another sweep for Ben on his own stone.
Flashing the top one.
See what Shuster can see of that rock.
I was sweeping that with like zero hope. I was like,
We'll see. See what I can see from that.
Man, if you could get nose, you might get all 3 going.
Just
play for the roll.
I mean, I can slash it over the top and for sure get 2, and then we just got to make sure we make your last one. That's all.
It's the kind of thing. It's a risk-reward play here, right? Like if you try and go for nose, you're playing with that corner guard, and you really don't want to wreck the corner guard here. You fought so hard to get back in the game. You don't want to go out and give up a 3 or a 4 in return here in 7.
Yep. Whoa! Went backwards. Jesus.
Ooh, only gets the 1. Goes over the top.
so I think
I think you just want to throw this one, Jerry, to even up.
I feel like I know that better.
The top red one. anything full 4 foot, and the freeze is the out for Aileen and John.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be all in here. So don't give them the opportunity to actually save themselves.
It's either this or we peel, but I like this.
Yeah, I thought about the peel too. It's not a bad option, to be honest. You're probably limiting yourself to scoring 2 with throwing the peel, but you're more likely almost guaranteeing yourself the 2.
Wait's closed.
Here, you make a good draw, you might be able to get yourself a 3.
Line's good. Line's good. Line's good.
Just throwing the top 8s ideally here for Richardson. Really nice line.
Wait, throw a little bit.
Wanted a little deeper than top 12s.
Yep.
That's really well done. Maybe a little high. You could probably wrap around that.
Yeah, it's a little bit, just tiny bit of an off center, so it's kind of a rock and a quarter you can hide behind.
Yeah, I think another 6 inches at least would have been really good there.
And your guard is where you
The draw is definitely there.
Another
A
4
little bit
inches
more.
in your guard.
Yeah.
Just 4 though.
Right.
Like not so wherever your guard was.
The challenge was always going to be
Yeah.
if you go a little too deep, and a rock deeper and the freeze on it would have cut you down to a draw 4-2. So big
Final
shot here.
Aileen Geving for her team.
Line's a little tight.
Really need to be shot rock at the very least. Back 4 is ideal.
Line's good. Got room. Gonna have to finish
Oh
it.
no, I can't do anything with it, Eileen.
And it's still gliding.
I can't
This is
actually.
that
Gonna have to
line that's
curl
been
it.
really quick.
This is not
Hard
light.
curl. Hard.
Schuster trying to get it to curl now at the end. Will be shot rock. Not bad. Tucks a little piece. Like John probably could have gone a little earlier on that, but was surprised that it stopped when it did.
14.5. Is it slower away from the glass?
No, it's been faster going away, so maybe a little wider path. Hadn't been played quite as much, and Stone didn't glide for quite as long as we'd seen on the draw to the button path.
Yeah, I felt like I got a pretty good time on that one. It registered properly.
Yeah. Yeah, and John said the same with what he had for the split time, that he was surprised that it stopped where it did. So playing it soft, your other option would be just to pick this out with weight, Jerry, because that 3 probably wins you the game, but they feel more comfortable playing soft. So final stone of the end, Taylor Anderson, somewhere around hacked board.
Hack. Hack. Hack.
Ben likes the line. It's going to make contact now. It's just a matter of sticking around. Looks perfect right now. Well, that's really well done by Taylor. Great throw. 4 times it is for Anderson and Richardson. And the taste of that rollout in the previous end all gone for Taylor.
Yeah.
Now leading 9-5. And with this 7th end break, USA Curling would like to take this moment to thank the curling community for supporting the sport and the national organization, whether it's through your membership, donations, or volunteer hours that help our game grow. Your support makes many of our efforts possible, whether it's the webcast coverage you're enjoying right now, the Our House content platform, certification programs for instructors and officials, or the Athlete Outreach Initiative. On behalf of USA Curling, thank you for all that you do. Another update on the scores on other sheets. On sheet B, Podol and Perry tied 5-5 with Weldon and Franey in the 7th. Sheet D, a final. Madison Bear, Aiden Oldenburg with a good performance to get to 3-2, 11-0 over Regan and Todd Burr. And on sheet E, another key matchup. Matt and Becca Hamilton now leading 5-3 over Sarah Anderson and Andrew Stapera. And our feature matchup, of course, here on sheet C after a 4-point 7th end with the power play. Taylor Anderson, Ben Richardson leading 9-5 over Aileen Geving and John Schuster. 8th end of action, Tyler George here with Jerry Gertz. And Jerry, really that whole end came down to Schuster having that either double or hit and roll to freeze and getting right between the two shots. Threw it great, but sometimes the worst result, or not the worst one, but a poor result, is right in between
today.
two very good ones, and then Ben came back with a great short run.
I'm going to head down.
Schuster's shot, I think after the hit and roll is, in my mind, the problem in that end where, you know, he really had a pretty makeable double and a chance for 3, and he just overcompensated a little bit on the safe side and picked it across the top. So
A really good shot by Geving there.
Good tip.
That first stone from Anderson, a little short of the freeze, and that's a situation, Jerry, where you really do want that rock locked on for the freeze if you're Ben and Taylor. So that's where the draw from Aileen ends up in a really good position to try to set up a 4-point end if you can.
Top 8.
Yeah, 4s are not impossible in mixed doubles. I know in 4-player you'll see a lot of teams shake hands down 4. But, you know, the game can change in a flash. So,
And this is short here from Richardson, so already getting interesting.
So I don't think we want to come around it because then it just makes it where they're red.
No, I think just right nose on it.
No, not nose. We got to stay. So they both stay if they hit him when he plays the double run.
The clock's running. Schuster and Geving with 2.5 minutes. Yeah, plenty of time for both teams here, I think.
Yeah, and both with a timeout remaining. Neither team has used their timeout.
A lot of room. Way out there again.
Schuster trying to
I don't think you need to go too much, but you can if you need
lock
to.
another one
Line's
on
getting
that
better.
line.
A lot of curling to do, though.
Top
Try it. Go
Angled
ahead
on
if
to
you need to.
Geving's stone.
Line's good, though. Straight, I think, even.
Nice to see those clocks
No bounce on this
inset
line, but
into
it's
the
good.
screen, too.
Yeah, that's great.
No bounce on
Nice
this
little
line, no
work
bounce.
there from John Benton and Rory McCusker behind the scenes putting this together, and Kaylee Martin working on
Like half
graphics
rock.
and rocks and keeping the mics going.
The Avengers assemble, the all-star squad back here. We didn't even need any new faces in the booth right now. We're using the staff on hand with Jerry working double duty here. We appreciate that. Really nice shot from Schuster there, perfect angle in, and 4 is not out of the question right now. I've been notified Rory's the Hulk in this Avengers initiative here. Double peel attempt from Richardson. That's a really good shot.
That's fine.
Big to open that up.
That works.
Angle still playing really well though for Schuster and Geving.
Interesting.
I mean, I can also freeze again on this thing here, and
Same.
2 of them stay. I mean, it'd be nice to kind of almost. I think moving this in here makes it stay better.
Okay.
But then this one also goes rolling to the corner.
Right.
I mean, I can also just throw a guard right now, and they still can't get rid of any of ours if I guard center.
True.
Do you ever just go around the corner guards here?
I was
wait
thinking
one
about
more,
that,
but-
yeah, because I don't know that you can, unless you get
If
him
I
to
guard
drag,
these-
losing more than one of the yellows would be tough.
I kind of want Anderson Richardson throwing that stuff
I think
in
the
the
guard is
middle.
just
And
a little easier to make than the freeze.
Okay.
So if I freeze it wrong, like 2 fly and we're done. So I think I'll just throw the guard. Make the same room I just had. He's gonna get a chance to run it in there, but maybe it's.
I think both of those top 2 yellows go with peel. I think they're just close enough. Maybe it drags a little bit.
well, that's the other option then too. So if you think they both go with peel,
Play the freeze then.
throw it yourself with normal,
think
and
it's
maybe you
that
can
much,
get
but
both yellows under the corner.
Just a 3.
Yeah, I think then you're leaving a straight-on double on the 2 that are open then, so you got to get 4 under the corner.
Then you draw another one under the corner for 3.
Right to it. Straight hard.
And this is overpulling a little bit this time.
I like that this is tight though.
That is interesting.
To score 4, you're going to need some help.
Should be able to get
regardless.
3. I'm gonna throw it hard again.
Yep.
If anything, I want to miss it a little wide. Yep.
Yeah, there's a little danger here, Jerry. If this hits in just the wrong spot, both of those 2 yellows could spill under the corner.
Yep.
Let's throw a yellow.
So a lot of things could happen with this. We're not going to try to predict. Again, a half-inch off of any of these spots to hit could be great or terrible for Ben.
Yeah, these stones here are a relatively new set, I believe, from Canada Curling Stone. So, you know, the whole springiness and everything on the stones is really relative to the newness of them. So we'll see what kind of action you get here.
Just the one. That out-turn path got taken away a little bit with that tick on the corner. The timeout now called.
I mean, now.
We'll listen in to John and Aileen, see what they're thinking.
Now if you plant, like put it here, now this one might actually even catch as long as I don't move it. And she can't guard both sides.
Right.
As long as I get it to, like, I have to freeze
Right
it. Though.
there, yep.
Puts a
Because
lot
then
of
it's
pressure on
either
her.
the run back or the peel out
Yeah.
for us.
I mean, I could also just make this and make her make some sort of double, which might not be there. Like if I just hit it out now, because right now, but she can't guard both sides. So.
Right.
I just got to stay a little high if nothing else. Because if I tap this high side, the middle 2 don't go. So like if I hit half rock, like this will be the only one that goes out as long as I stay high.
Sure, sure.
I'm just trying to freeze though. But.
A little bit of the mad scientist at work there. Shusty's got all the different options in mind here.
So trying to freeze again on that stack. Top 12 weight.
25.
Okay, I gave it a little bump, but not too much. We're out further than the last one, though.
They want to stay just a hair high. John believes that if it's
but it's curl.
on the high side on the freeze,
Get in there.
if they
Curl,
hit it,
curl.
only the top one will go out
Go, Aileen,
because
curl,
of the stack.
if you have to.
Weight's
Line, line looks really good
Hold on.
here.
It needs to finish. Don't want to bounce a lot. Yeah, I still don't know that more than one of those goes on that angle, huh?
I agree with you. I don't think you get enough action on the...
Yeah, these 2 would go.
Might be able to get these going.
You have to miss
but
the top one.
Yes. And then if you do that, it's probably going to drag more straight back. So you'll just kind of pick your red one clean.
hitting this one on the nose, you're only killing one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you
So
can just
4
hit
reds,
the
4
2 in the
yellows
top
in
of
the
the
rings
8
here.
foot with that drag.
Yeah.
It goes out pretty easy.
I think so too.
I mean,
that peel weight hit
Yeah.
half a stone on the one of the top 8s and shake
you
hands.
could just try to make a roll like here.
They're not really even looking at it right now either.
Then they maybe have this for 4.
Like what happens if we just freeze this on?
The question comes down to how much weight can Taylor throw at this.
Taylor can throw plenty of weights. I don't think that should be an issue for this shot. If it drags a lot, you might even get the triple
So
for
it's
fun.
whatever you're
on
feeling.
the one
I'm
in the
not
back
against
forefoot.
that. If
Yeah,
we play
I
something
think
here,
you might be surprised
the loss
by
is out of the
how
question as long as it's
straight
going.
back or even anti-direction that second yellow on that pair in the middle there would
Like
drag.
the freeze better?
Yeah, they really aren't even talking about that shot, and there's enough of
You
a
like the
stagger.
in-turn rather than the out?
It's not like you have
Okay.
to throw an absolute missile to get those rocks moving.
I think just trying to
And if
roll
you-
it like right on top.
Yeah, and if you hit that first or second, I should say.
What kind of weight
yellow
do you
one,
like? Control, okay.
Anywhere on the outside, at the worst, you're killing one of them. Because of the drag, there's no way that third yellow stone is staying. But they are just going to hit the top stone. Try to roll over in front. Final rock.
Curl.
Taylor Anderson.
This is the idea of making something
girl,
a
you
little
got it.
easier
Hard.
to
Whoa.
make
Yep,
them throw the harder shot.
Straight. Okay, it's pretty good.
No.
Yeah, that's a...
That doubles there, isn't it?
Yeah, but does the shooter count is the question.
Okay.
So the thing
So
that
I gotta
has to,
do-
well, just hang on for a second.
Well, are they sure?
You can
That's-
make this double for 2.
Yeah, I think they might have rolled just far enough.
That's
This way I know
close.
for
I don't
sure. That's the
know.
problem with this one is like how hard you need to throw it to move this rock and not lose these is just a question mark.
Right.
That's the only
You don't have to
issue
move
with
that red far either.
But this
Yeah, the
one's,
drag
you know,
is
you
a
gotta hit it
problem
perfect.
playing
You might
that
have some
shot
more
now.
margin on this one.
I mean, this is the
Do
same
you-
place I threw that.
Do you ever come off
I know, I'm
that
just trying to
redstone
debate what
on the
turn you
M
throw
and
so it doesn't go
markets,
releasing off
cross
the
the
start.
top, and try and kick? You catch on the other one underneath
I
the
think
O.
you got to throw the in turn.
Like,
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I see what you're saying. The hand telestrator here. I'm not positive
half
that
a rock
double
with
isn't
like
shot
a
rock.
10.
Half a rock.
Yeah, on ours, because you got to hit
Oh,
this one
you
out
want
of
me
I
the
mean,
to
look
play
how
that
much
way,
space
not
there
the-
is on
the
that
one.
that
I
red
think
rock
we
at the
got
top
more
of the
margin.
12th and on the corner.
So it's
How
probably
much space there is in the 12s
half a rock with the in, so you got to cross it.
Okay.
to get
So
to
you
the
throw it
8
at the
foot?
middle
Like,
of the rock
I
and
don't
you
know that wouldn't
the 10
still
throw it.
be shot.
like you hit it like 11:30 maybe.
Yeah.
Just a hair off nose.
Yeah, I
You gotta
think
hit half so we can
that
move
would.
that
I think it's
red.
worth playing because you're not sure, and it's the makeable shot.
Well, here we go.
They are playing to their own instead. Final rock, Aileen Geving.
Close. Whoa, curl. Curl.
Trying to come off their own, not have it drag too much.
Oh, I missed it altogether.
Yeah, the
Drag
drag
effect.
was just too much. So that ends
Okay,
up
John, good
being
luck. I'm sorry.
3.
Good luck.
That dragged it
And
way
they come up
harder.
Yeah,
1
really.
point
Missed it
short.
altogether.
It didn't even touch it.
Final score ends up being 9-8.
I mean, I know how drag works. but
Richardson
usually
and
it's like,
Anderson
cross
with
like
the
that, it
victory.
misses that hard.
And Jerry, just as we said, the drag was just way too strong to play that
I
shot.
didn't see it doing that.
Yeah,
But
it's
wanted to make it
it just
interesting.
comes down to that 7th end where 4 points was too much to overcome here,
I
and,
don't know if they made it interesting. I think we
you
did.
know, they did make it interesting getting 3 and right down to last shot. But you know what, this mixes up our standings a little bit too.
Nice.
Yeah, things really tightening up in that pack. And we'll take a look at the scores in the other games and see exactly how tight this Pool B has gotten with that victory for Anderson and Richardson. Ben needs a little recharge for sure. That was a lot of sweeping for him, again, of his own accord.
So of course, I know John is working on getting the all scores up. Bear Oldenburg has improved to
go.
3 and 2.
And there we are, Podol Perry, sheet B, with the 6-5 lead on Weldon and Franey in the 8th.
Yeah, Weldon Franey have the hammer in 8, coming home, looking to improve to 3 and 2 themselves.
Hamilton, the 8-4 victory over Anderson Stapera. That bunches things up even more.
Yeah, that Hamiltons are now 3 and 2. Anderson and Stopera is 3 and 2. Anderson and Richardson is 3 and 2. And Geving Schuster's dropped to 4 and 1 now. So big mess in Pool B here in Traverse City.
Got a notification that the Schuster kicking the red immediately may have made the score 10-5. I think we're sticking with 9-8 for now based on what we saw.
We can go back to the replay.
Yeah.
Take a look at the stream.
We know who won for what that matters.
Yeah, they gave it to Richardson on the scoreboard there. So
all right, well,
10-5 final.
Oh, yeah, because the red rock was still sitting there. It was not made contact with. So 10-5 is the final. We'll be coming back 4 o'clock today. Our feature matchup will be, drum roll, TC and Dropkin taking on Wood and Cott, again on sheet C. So for Tyler George and Jerry Gertz, thanks for watching. We will see you at 4 Eastern.